everything, I basically make these big wooden frames and I have a background piece. So there is this kind of blank canvas that you're looking at. I usually don't really do a lot of like drawings ahead of time. So often it just comes from like, I do think they're a bit self-portrait like, given that I use myself as a reference, but also like even just the psychology of them. I think that they come from a feeling. So, and sometimes it is just like being overwhelmed, a lot of stuff that's going on currently, and it never seems to end. But, there's a lot of pretty frustrating and horrible things happening all the time. So sometimes I just get into this mode where it's like I'm making something that I start with, like how I feel. And I'm like, maybe make the pose and then I draw the body with a marker. I get the figures set up where they need to be to illustrate, kind of be in the space. And then I kind of work really improvisationally. Like I'll add, like I don't have everything all drawn out. I don't do the entire drawing and then start the process of tufting it. I generally just start, once I know where the bodies are, I just start with the hair, or I'll start with the thing that I'm trying to. So let's say I put like a swan on the thigh or something like this, right? I'll start there. And then as the days go by and as I'm sitting there with all this time, as I'm working, I'll come up with other ideas and I add them in. So it's a little bit like when you start drawing on your hand or something and then you draw like, like if you kept moving along like that, it's like you just keep thinking. It's more about a process of drawing as a way to think. But in the end, like the figure gets pretty obfuscated with all these, there's all these objects and flowers and, symbols. And sometimes it's almost like tattoos, somewhat. They become disguised in the environment. But the one thing that I do notice is like the facial expression and the kind of like the eyes that are looking back at you. You can lose the body, but you're going to still see the face. Yeah. And so as long as that, I want to capture and maintain this kind of expression. So like, even if the figures don't necessarily look like me, it's that face. I'm like, I've made that face. That is me looking like, what is going on? And a lot of times it's feeling really disconnected from nature, and really making these works are about like a place. And it is a place where it's like, it's women, right? Because it's self-referential kind of situation, but it's also, I think, about care and collaboration and kind of, Earth Mother stuff, you know what I mean? And like healing and self-compassion. And maybe as I'm working on them, I'm trying to get that into my own life